Hello and welcome to another episode of Two Guys and a Chainsaw. I'm Todd.
And I'm Craig.
We've got another Halloween selection for you today. This is 1999's Idle Hands, which I believe has been requested a couple times and has been on our list for Halloween possibilities because it does take place at Halloween. And Halloween is referenced right in the very beginning of the movie. So there's pumpkins and they talk about Halloween decorations.
And jack-o'-lanterns. Yeah. Like when it first opens, there's like jack-o'-lanterns in front of like a suburban house. And the music is by Graham Revell. I don't know how to say his name, but it's the same guy who did the music for The Craft, who I was just like gushing over last week or whenever it was. And that really excited me. And especially in the very beginning, they don't use John Carpenter's Halloween score, but it's reminiscent of it. And I really liked that. That was a good way to get into it.
It really was. I feel like this movie also kind of references other horror movies, although supposedly the director didn't really want to. I don't know if that just slipped in there or what, but there's a lot of Sam Raimi-esque cinematography in here.
Sure.
The cinematography really, really struck me, actually. I was really impressed with how kinetic it was. There were all these different angles and things were just always moving. I really liked that aspect of it. And being a late 90s movie, it almost feels like a mid-90s movie to me. I guess it's right at that point where it's kind of late 90s, early 2000s. Not like they're, 4 years difference? Not like that's a big deal. But
yeah, I was just laughing because I was going to say it feels kind of mid-period.
Mid-period.
It's kind of mid. Like it's just okay.
All over the place. Yeah. Everything about it is mid, right? Fair enough. All right, so maybe we're going to show our cards early. First of all, by the way, believe it or not, had not seen this before. Had you?
Oh, gosh, yeah. I was excited about it when it came out. I feel like early on in the podcast, we had a guest host who was big time into Devon Sawa, who was a friend of yours, right?
Yes, that's right.
Yeah. He's cool, and he's doing a lot of cool stuff now. Like he did the Chucky series, and I really liked him in that. But he was kind of a 90s heartthrob. And so, whatever. I wasn't super into him, but he was cool, and that's fine.
Yeah.
And
he had a Final Destination right after this, I think. The same.
Yeah. And Seth Green. I'm a big fan of Seth Green. Big fan.
He's cool. Yeah.
He's very cool. He's very funny. I know him best from Buffy. He was Oz on Buffy, and he was great in that show. But he's done lots of cool stuff. He's especially in animation. I know he's done a lot of cool animated voice work. Yeah. And he's very, very cool. And even at the time, I knew he was cool. So I was drawn to that. And it felt very 90s. I mean, it just felt very hip. It just felt very hip and cool at the time. So yeah, I definitely saw it then. And, we just watched it again. And I was really, excited to do it because I thought, this is going to be fun. It's going to be a fun 90s movie to talk about. Ultimately, I didn't really like it.
You and me both. I was so afraid I was going to get on here and I was going to be like, I was just like the movie grated on me after a while. And I can't even tell you why. I mean, all right, so good. So we're kind of on the same page.
I mean, it's fine. It's fine.
There's nothing wrong with it.
No, it's fine. I can't even necessarily. It's just stupid. And
that might be it.
I'm a fan. I'm a fan of stupid. I like stupid. I actually very much enjoy stoner comedy, which this totally is. I'm very down for that. Like, I am so down for stoner comedy. And you already know this, but let me just be transparent with the audience. My grandfather died yesterday. And, I had just been at the hospital and there was lots of family there. And then I got a call from my sister that he had passed. And it's good. It's fine. He was very, very sick and he was in pain, and it was a blessing, frankly, that he was finally out of his misery. It was a blessing. So then I was spending time with, I was hanging out with family, And then I had to come home and watch Idle Hands.
Idle Hands. That's a bit of a jump, I'm sure.
Yeah, and like so I just really wasn't feeling it, and I can imagine, listeners, that you can understand that. Like I just wasn't in the greatest, like I wasn't in a space to laugh at some of this silliness. And it is silly, and it is fun. I don't want to talk bad about it because it's a fun movie, and it seems like, they were just having a good time making it. It's not meant to be serious. It's meant to be silly and stupid, and it is. And it's fun in that way. And so, listeners, I'm not saying you shouldn't watch it. It's a fun, silly movie, but it's stupid.
It's pretty stupid. It's pretty jokey. Now, unlike you, I'm not really into stoner comedy. I don't object to it or anything. I'm just not really my cup of tea. And about 10 minutes into this, I was like, okay, this is going to be stoner comedy. But then it's not for a while. I mean, it is, but then I feel like this movie goes all over the place in tone, which I liked, actually. I think that's fine. Mostly it's comedy. Mostly it's stupid. I think it's kind of a one-trick pony. For me, the shtick just got old after a while. It's this guy's hand that is possessed.
And it took it a long time to get there.
Yeah.
Like, it seemed like we didn't even really understand what was happening.
I don't even know how his hand got possessed.
I don't either.
Is it even explained? Like, what the hell?
I mean, at some point, one of his friends says something like, yeah, my grandma used to say idle hands are the devil's playground or whatever, which I've heard, and that's fine. And the main character, Devon Sawa, is like this big jerk off stoner guy who doesn't care about anything but, he plays waking up too. And I like Devon Sawa, and he he plays, it's fine. He's a stoner. He just wants to sit around in his boxers and smoke weed all day. Fine. That's fine. But and then Vivica A. Fox.
Right.
Does she still go by that, or is she just
I have
Vivica
no idea.
Fox now? I don't know, but I do love Vivica A. Fox because she is. She's definitely a fox. I mean, she's hot as fuck. Like, yeah, she's so gorgeous. She's in it, and she plays a character that I don't even really understand. Like, maybe she's a nun. I don't know.
What is she? She comes in like she's investigating this or something, and she dresses like a nun to get in to the jail.
I don't know if she's really a nun or not.
Too late. Like, but what is the deal with the hand?
That's the thing. Like, she's like, yeah, I'm from this ancient order of nuns, and our job is to chase down this thing that possesses the laziest people. And I don't know, makes their hands evil or something. Oh my God. I don't really get it. Like, you just kind of roll with it in the movie.
Have to
like,
roll
it doesn't,
with it.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Like, who cares? And like, her character could be entirely excised from the movie and it would make no difference.
Matter. She doesn't do anything. She pops into a few scenes, looks around, gets hit by a car at one point. At the very end, I think her character was actually supposed to die when she got hit by that car. I thought that was going to be the comedy of the scene, was that they just ran over this woman and we're just like, oh, what was that? I don't know. But and then this woman's just gone.
Yeah, she's just a sexy nun who is from a long line of sexy nuns who are trying to hunt down this thing, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. What is it?
It doesn't make any sense.
Somebody saw Evil Dead 2, which we did very recently, and was like, just take that and make that a whole movie. Really?
Yes. And I wish that they had done more of that. I was surprised. Okay, so the opening I really liked, jack-o'-lanterns, very reminiscent of James Carpenter's score for Halloween, very Halloween. And then Fred Willard is the dad. And I love Fred Willard. I will never say an unkind word about him. He's so funny, and I loved him in everything that he has ever been in. Yeah. Just so funny. He's the dad, and the mom is Connie Ray, who I just recognized immediately, but then I looked at her IMDb page and she just plays bit parts. But I recognized her from, and so the two of them together as this silly mom and dad, it was funny. And like that put me in the mood. I'm like, oh, okay, this is going to be a silly, funny comedy. And it is. And I liked it.
Look at this. A Thanksgiving cornucopia made out of pie plates and spackle.
What the heck is a cornucopia?
It's like a horn of plenty.
Oh, dear, can't it wait? We just finished decorating for Halloween.
You.
She looks up and sees written, I don't know, in glowing letters above her bed, I'm under the bed. And then there's a cat scare and
immediately, which I thought was funny.
Yeah, was funny. And then the mom gets like violently pulled under the bed and killed, and I think the dad gets killed too. It was funny to me. The mom, did you notice the mom grabbed the phone and it was a rotary phone and it was like a hotel phone? Did you
Yeah.
it had like the number underneath the rotary dial, which I thought was hilarious.
Yeah, weird.
And then the whole gag is that Devon Sawa, his name is Anton, he wakes up in the morning and doesn't realize that his parents have been murdered. He doesn't even know that there has been like a murderous streak in this town.
Yeah, because
he has no idea.
He's just oblivious. He's walking around kind of ignoring or not seeing like little blood stains on the floor and things like that.
The cat licking up the blood, the cat like eating his mom's eyeball. I think that's what he eventually notices.
Much later. Yeah.
I don't know. All of that was funny. Like it's like, this is funny. You know, he's a dumb stoner teenager and just totally oblivious to everything going on, and he's like smoking weed out of I thought it was an inhaler around his neck. I was like, oh, he's asthmatic, this is going to be important. No, it's just a pipe that he smokes out of. And like he's looking for weed, and he like before he even notices that his parents are dead, he like goes to buy weed from Seth Green and this other guy. The actor's name is Eldon Henson. They're Mick and Peanut.
I never caught his name.
I never heard his name.
Yeah, Nub. Maybe it's just Nub.
Who knows? I don't know. But they're his stoner friends that he buys weed from, and they're funny. They're funny. They're stoner funny, and eventually they get killed, and then they're still just more stoner funny. Like honestly, Todd, I was looking forward to watching this movie because I remembered liking it, and then watching it again, I'm like, I don't know, this is just kind of stupid. I love Seth Green, and he and this other guy are doing funny, stoner stuff, but ultimately it's just kind of dumb.
Yeah. I mean, that's how I feel about most stoner comedy anyway. It kind of wears itself out pretty quickly. I feel like that stuff you're meant to be stoned while you watch it.
Yeah. Oh man, she dropped her lyrics book.
Hey, she's gonna catch you reading that shit over her shoulder in biology class.
Her songs are badass, man. She's like a poet or something.
Go bring it back to her. Be like a knight in shining armor. All
Oh, yeah. She'd be all grateful. She'd invite me in. She'd offer me a drink. I'd accept.
And she'd rip your clothes off and make sweet love to you, Red Shoe Diary style.
Just go talk to her, man. Maybe she'll think you're funny or something.
It's just low-key comedy, and whatever. They're doing their thing, but they're doing their thing for a very long time. Jessica Alba rides by on a bicycle. She's Molly. She's the sexy neighbor next door that
Jessica Alba.
Anton has a thing for.
I think that Jessica Alba has removed herself from Hollywood because she was so tired of just being objectified. And this movie
objectifies the hell out of her.
Oh my God. I mean, she's just the sexy girl. That's it.
Yeah.
And I feel, I'm not going to feel too bad for Jessica Alba. I'm sure that she's made a lot of money and she's a very beautiful woman. And if she's made money off of that, great. But I can also understand the frustration if she's an actress who wants to act and she just gets cast because she's sexy. I can understand that frustration. I can, and I can understand it seems as though she's kind of removed herself from the industry, and she's been vocal about this, in the Fantastic Four movies and stuff. Like in one of the Fantastic Four movies, she was in a scene where she was supposed to cry, and she was crying, and the director told her, can you do it sexier? Like cry sexier.
Oh,
and I think that was very off-putting to her, and I can understand that. Like, I'll never be able to relate to being so sexy.
People ask me to cry sexy.
Right.
That would be nice.
I'll never be able to relate to that. But I can imagine how frustrating that would be if you were serious and you were an actor and you wanted to work and that's all people expected of you or wanted from you. I can imagine how frustrating that would be.
Yeah.
Nonetheless, she plays Molly, the crush, the girl next door in this movie, and she is very sexy, and that's really all that she's given. She's the sexy girl next door. Even when she's brought in to be in scenes and stuff, it's dumb. She's just the sexy girl. That's all it is. There's one point near the end of the movie where she's in peril and her clothes get ripped off for no reason.
The reason was the audience wanted it, the test
audience. Well, and because she's gorgeous and she's stunningly gorgeous and she looks great in a bra and panties. She looks fantastic. But I can't imagine.
Sorry, we need to reshoot this scene. We're gonna rip your clothes off.
Right.
That's what the audience has asked for when they were watching your performance.
I can't imagine being a young woman wanting to get into acting and into the industry, and that's all they care about. And like, okay, great. Now, for no reason, we're just gonna rip all of your clothes off. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I've got great. Like, I'm putting myself in her. She's like, I mean, I get it. I've got great tits and I've got a great body. I get it, but can I talk? Well, not a little bit, but not really. Like, I get why that would be frustrating. Anyway, whatever. So where do we want to go?
20-minute discussion of Jessica Alba is now officially over. All right.
I know.
Yeah, I don't know. You know, he goes next door and he has some flirtatiousness with her, but he's really shy, and that's the gag. Then later he ends up over at her place. But ultimately, he ends up in his kitchen and he discovers the eyeball that the cat's eating, and goes upstairs, and I think his parents' corpses like fall out of somewhere. I never really figured out where that was. And that freaks him out, and he stands up, and then the guys come over. People are always popping in and out of scenes. The guys are just there, or he's left, and then he comes back. You know, all these things are happening like all throughout the movie. You can never really keep track of who's where, and it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, when the guys come over, they find the dead parents. The dead parents have been propped up like Halloween decorations or something, but the mom has a piece. Anton's shirt has been ripped from the beginning, and I noticed that right away. And when the boys come over, the mother has the ripped off piece of t-shirt in her hand. I really don't even understand this.
How would that
honestly
work? That would never happen.
I don't understand it, because from this point on, and like, I think the mom had written A-N-T in blood on the floor, and like, they find the ears of some other twins that were killed earlier in the house. And so
what was
he
that about?
says, I don't know, he says to the friends, the killer was me. I'm the killer. I don't get it. It's not like when the hand takes over, he's totally possessed. Like, he's conscious and aware of what's going on. So how did the hand go on a murder spree?
Right.
And he's just completely unaware, all around town. And he's just completely unaware of it. I don't get that.
Yeah, I don't get it either. It doesn't make any sense. Well, it's not consistent with what we see, which is him fighting Bruce Campbell Evil Dead 2 style with his hand pretty much for the rest of the movie until he cuts it off. Not as good.
Isn't it? It's so funny to me that we just watched Evil Dead 2 and I just went on and on and on about how great Bruce Campbell was at doing that. Devon Sawa, God bless you. I'm a fan. I'm a big fan, and you'll never hear this, but this is no Bruce Campbell work here.
I don't know. I don't think he did too bad. It was fine. Yeah, he had kind of a different vibe going with it.
I think that had I not just seen and gushed over Bruce Campbell, that I wouldn't have thought about it at all. But watching this, I'm like, you're no Bruce Campbell.
The thing about it is the hand kind of switches on and off. At one moment, he's really, really fighting it. And the next moment, he's like having a dialogue with someone, and You're like, how did he control that hand all of a sudden? It's just like by his side, or it's tucked in his shirt or something. And then boom, the hand will like pop up onto his neck or, it's just, again, it's not, and thank God it's not a long sustained sequence of him fighting this hand for an hour, but it does then therefore lead to these moments where the hand's not even an issue. I mean, he's still there. His hand is still attached, but now he's like walking around, or he's trying to solve problems or whatnot with the guys. Anyway, it does lead to some funny moments though. Like I love that bit when Seth Green's character is backing away from him and he flips open the door of the refrigerator to block him, and he holds up a beer bottle. He's like, would you like a beer? And his hand just immediately snatches it out of his hand, smashes it against the counter to break it, and then impales Seth Green's character in the head with the beer bottle. That was sudden and quick and kind of funny.
Yeah, it is funny.
And then there's a whole
kills
chase
them both.
sequence.
Yeah, he kills them both. I don't remember how he throws like a saw blade, like a circular saw blade. He throws at the other guy and cuts his head off. And all of this gore and stuff is fun. Honestly, I just really feel like I wasn't in the right headspace. I feel like if you're in the right headspace, this movie could be very fun and very funny. Take a hit off your vape pen, smoke a bowl. You're gonna have a better time.
I don't know, but that doesn't explain why I was also. I mean, was I also not in the right headspace? Like there was just
I don't know. Were you stoned?
It. No, God no. No, not in China. God no. But I don't know why. I could not pinpoint what it was about everything that I just wasn't. I mean, I don't want to say emotionally invested, because how emotionally invested do you get in a wacky comedy? But there was something about it that just didn't connect for me, and I just felt I was watching scenes. After a while.
It did feel like scenes. It didn't really feel like I didn't know where it was. I didn't know where it was going. Like I didn't really get the point of it.
There's no strong through line because the movie pauses all the time for just long gag sequences. Like once those two guys are killed, he goes to bury them in the backyard, but they come to life. And that was kind of shocking. I didn't expect that. And I'm still not sure what caused that.
No.
Why? There's just no explanation whatsoever.
No.
Just so we can have two zombie stoner guys. And then the next 10, 15 minutes is just them doing stoner shtick as zombies in the living room.
Right. Like the one guy's headless and he's, taking hits off the bong and it's just coming out, of his neck or whatever.
Yeah. So I think with that, like whatever plot there is, and there's not much plot, it's just chase the hand, really. It just stops dead for these moments. And like I said, in those moments when they're doing all their shtick, suddenly I'm like, what about the hand though? Like, is he still fighting the hand? No, the hand's just kind of hanging there. It's like not an issue anymore. I think it's around after that he ends up going next door to Jessica Alba.
Well, right. And it's almost like the zombie guys and the hand are like encouraging him to be more confident. Go over there, ask her out or whatever. And then while he's there, the hand is like getting handsy with Jessica Alba and like she's into it. It was so stupid.
Yeah,
like,
it was really
the hand
dumb.
is like grabbing her ass and stuff. And then it's so dumb. This girl lives across the street from him or whatever, but they don't really know one another. And he's been lusting after her. And he rings her doorbell with his evil hand. They talk for a second. The evil hand like grabs her ass and she's like, ooh, that's hot. And she throws him down on the bed. And the gag is that the hand is getting aggressive, so he has to tie the hand to the bed, but she thinks that he's just being kinky or whatever, which, okay, that's cute. You're teenagers, but okay. And then she just fucks him. Like, I couldn't believe that. Like, I was like, what? You guys don't even know each other, and you're like 17, and he ties himself to the bed, and you take his pants off and just go to town. Right. I mean, listen, when I was 17, if that had happened to me, I would have been thrilled, but it seemed a little out of place. I don't know.
Yeah, I hear you. I mean, it was just a gag for a gag's sake, but with the ages and stuff, and I don't know, just the way it kind of went down. There was
it's
no
also
tension or weird.
no.
I don't
It's also very safe. I mean, this movie is R-rated, but there's no sex. It just
Right.
he ties his hand to the bed, and then it cuts back to them later. And I think she's like, "Oh, my parents are home. I don't want them to know that I just to you." Yeah, like his pants are down, but he's still in boxers. It's very visually and cinematically, it's very chaste. It was weird.
Yeah. Yeah, it felt off to me. I don't know if that's because there was no real back and forth. She was just so eager, she just jumped on. I mean, I realized that maybe is the gag, but we kind of saw that coming from a mile away anyway, because she's been all over him since he opened the door.
Right.
So, I don't know. There just wasn't there wasn't like an arc or whatever to this scene. It just kind of happened. And then they end up back over at his house, and the friends are there watching TV, and he's like,
Anton, I've got to ask, what's with the hand?
It doesn't obey me at all. So the only thing I can come up with is it's got to be possessed. Do you guys know anything about Satan or evil or?
No. But we know somebody who does.
and it's the guy who listens to the same Motley Crue song over and over and over again. God, how many times were they going to drop the needle on Shout at the Devil? Was that a gag? Every time this guy came on the screen, it was playing that song. They pay per needle drop for licensing fees.
Sure.
So the only thing I'm thinking of is maybe Motley Crue's Shout at the Devil like 5 times was cheaper than 5 different tunes. And not that they have a shortage of tunes, by the way. This is like greatest hits of late 90s alternative metal.
The Ramones 24 Hours to Go, right?
Yeah.
Features pretty heavily. Like,
also,
there's a band at the school dance, and it's a famous band, but I don't have the name of it in front of me. But they're doing the Ramones 24. I don't know the name of the title. That's like 24 hours to go. I want to be sedated. And that's a great song. I love that song.
Yeah. Well, when he goes to meet up with that guy, Freddie was his name, I think. He is at a fast food restaurant.
Yeah.
And there's a memorial outside the fast food restaurant where apparently these twins were killed. So people are laying flowers, and there's this kind of dumb bimbo gal who's also laying flowers. And this guy's over the top, stupid, I don't know, guy who listens to heavy metal or whatever, jockey type person with the big truck. He walks up to her, and everything about this scene was so cheap, and the acting was so over the top bad that I thought I had stepped into a trauma movie. It felt exactly like a scene from a trauma film.
Yeah, I hadn't thought of that, but you saying it, yeah, it does feel.
Remember
like
that
you're right.
Chicken movie we did?
Yeah, I liked it. It was stupid, but I liked it.
If this whole movie had been like Poultrygeist, I would have liked it more. But this one scene just was like, this is pure trauma. So, that was different, plopped in the middle of this. I don't know how Anton ends up in the drive-through window of the restaurant. He kind of goes in and the hand just kind of grabs him. And there's some kind of half-assed gags where the hand is trying to pick up murderous things, the knife, and throw it, but it keeps kind of avoiding people narrowly. And I would have enjoyed that if it had gone on a little longer, but it just happens a couple times. And then Freddie ends up in the drive-thru.
It's my hand, okay? It's like it's got a mind of its own. It makes me do things I don't want it to do.
Oh, yeah, man? I used to be like that. Get into all kinds of stupid shit. Look, the trick is to keep yourself busy. That's why I'm always working on the board. Keeps me out of trouble. Idle hands are the devil's playground.
Keep my hands busy. Yeah, that actually makes sense.
So he starts knitting. That's
It should be really funny, shouldn't it?
It should be.
What's the most obvious way to keep your hands busy? But then the cops come back. One of the cops is played by Sean Whalen.
Sean Whalen.
That was fun to see.
Yeah, our very first episode, People Under the Stairs. I was like, it's Sean Whalen. I was excited.
Right.
And they don't do anything. They have they're
just there.
He kills them. One of them gets like, and it's not him. It's not Anton. It's just his hand that he has no control of. One of them takes a knitting needle to the ear
Straight through the head.
Yeah, ear to ear. And then the other one, I just have taser to the face.
Yeah.
I'm not sure why that killed him, but
that was Sean Whalen. All the while, Pachyderm by Rob Zombie's playing in the background, and Anton decides he needs to take care of this Bruce Campbell style, so he goes into the kitchen, and he's got his hand in one of those bagel slicers.
Mm-hmm.
And this I actually laughed out loud at, because one of his friends says, "Man, those things won't even cut my bagel." And I was like, yeah, that's exactly right. Those bagel slicers are useless. And it is useless. It just bends around his arm. And so he ends up chopping it off. It ends up
with
in
a meat cleaver.
Yeah.
Yeah, he puts it. That was weird. Like you said, like it just feels like a series of scenes. Like we watch this hand cook in the microwave for like 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Okay,
and then he leaves.
Nothing comes of that. Like,
no.
Eventually, somebody just opens the microwave and it gets out. Like, it's fine.
Yeah. He leaves for some reason. I don't even know why. So then the guys come back in and they want to microwave a burrito because it's a stoner thing. And there's a gag where Seth Green's character puts the guy's head back on finally
with the meat fork. I thought
that was funny.
It was a stupid joke, but it was funny to me. Like he stuck the pointy part of the meat fork up in the guy's neck and then just crammed the blunt side down in his body. And then his head was on for the rest of the movie. I thought that was kind of
right. That was funny. He tries to microwave a burrito, and when they open it, the hand leaps out and runs out. And they're like, well, that was weird. And then there's a shtick where he's eating the burrito and like goo comes out of his neck, so they're using duct tape to
I didn't
tape
care
it up.
for that.
I know. But then Anton is back all of a sudden. Wherever he went to, now he's back. Exit scene, enter scene. It's like a play, right? I don't know where he was, what he was doing, and why he's now suddenly back, but he's back looking for the hand. And by now the hand is working its way down the street. So the hand is detached from here on out, and apparently is played by the same magician who played Thing in the Addams Family movies, which is cool.
It is cool.
Being a real big deal.
Yeah, I thought that was cool too, that it was that same guy, and good for that guy for having a hand career.
Right.
He's really fun in the Addams Family. Here, I don't know, it just felt like a lot of running around.
Mm-hmm.
I
wasn't just much expressiveness.
Exactly. I was going to say, frankly, I wish that the hand was more of a character. It's really just something that pops in and out here and there and that they're chasing around. Even in Evil Dead that we just talked about, the hand had an attitude. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. You're right.
It was kind of
felt like a character.
Yeah. And I would have liked that more here, but it's really not. It's really just a device to run around and kill people. But whatever, that's fine.
Yeah, because at this point, it's really just chasing the hand around. And it works its way down the street. They go and take the metal guy's truck for some reason. That's when they hit Debbie. Debbie, who comes out of nowhere and yells, "Anton!" and gets hit by the truck. And I'm like, where did she come from? How does she know
I don't remember.
Anton? She came from Utah or something. Like she
I know. I have in my notes, Debbie hooks up with the truck guy to find Anton.
How did she sort out this guy has the new hand spirit?
I don't know. There was something that connected that. I don't know what it is. What I don't understand, maybe still, is why is the hand after Molly?
Right.
They are trying to chase it because it's after her. Why?
Yeah. Is it really because of that. It just fell in love with her in her bedroom?
I don't know. I guess whatever. But then they go to this high school dance, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that band is playing the Ramones, and
we get boobs.
Jessica Alba's dancing like an idiot. Like that scene where they're just dancing, I'm like, what are you doing? It's so stupid. I don't know.
Well, you missed the couple in the car where you've got the obvious. If you're going to have a disembodied hand in a movie like this, you know that you're going to have hands fondling boobs. So we get our boobs in there.
Titties.
They were impressive. I wasn't complaining. Well, the three hands that end up on it have a lot to push around.
That's true.
Shout at the Devil is still playing, by the way. Oh my God.
The hand kills that couple, and it's funny. Like, I don't know. They're just making out in the car, and then the guy goes down on her, and then all of a sudden her top is off, and like her big natural boobs are just out. and then they get killed. I don't remember. And everybody,
then it's just the hand is inside, like the principal. There's just a scene.
Yeah.
Well, it's not really in the dance. I don't know how it gets where it's going. It just pops around. But I think the next scene is there's the principal's on the phone in the dark, and he's talking to some chick, maybe phone sex, and this hand crawls up his leg, and he's like, "Oh, it's
That's
like
right.
I can feel you doing it." Then I guess it grabs his dick and yanks it off or something while he's talking.
I just have hand kills pervy principal.
and Anton pops in the room, sees the aftermath, and looks around and walks out. But it turns out the hand's still in there, because the next shot is the hand sharpening its fingernails in the pencil sharpener on the desk, which I thought was cute. That had great angles and style.
I did like that. That scene in particular. I made a mental note of it too. I was like, that's clever, having it stick its finger in the
electric
mechanical.
sharpener.
Yeah,
that's so
clever.
good.
But and then there's the classic thing where he gets on the mic at the school dance and is like, "There's the evil hand on the loose. Everybody go home." but nobody believes them, and then it shows the hand locking them into the dance, I guess.
Yeah, it drops down on the musician's head, right, and peels a scalp off. That was fun.
This
right in front of everybody.
The little high school dance montage I did appreciate, because so many horror movies with something bad happening at the dance. He drops a whole light rack, like a whole rack of hanging lights on a bunch of people. The hand does.
Mm-hmm.
All that was good. That's great. Molly and a friend escape into the hallway-sized
vent. They could practically walk in this vent.
Yeah, I know. We've talked about this before. Like, the vents in these movies are ridiculous.
But this is utterly ridiculous. They're like lowering themselves through this shaft. I mean, through this giant fan. I liked this bit though. I like the concept of it. Molly lowers herself down. Her friend tries to, and her friend somehow gets caught up in the rope, and it ends up around her neck. So it looks like she's hanging. So Molly kind of tries to pull her down, but then the shoe that was stuck in the fan to keep it open suddenly gets knocked out. And so the fan starts spinning. And so this poor girl gets sucked back up into the fan and just chopped to bits.
Yeah.
I like that. That was a clever scene.
Poor Tanya. Yeah. And then I don't even remember how we get there, but then we cut back to Anton, who is still fighting with the hand, but the hand has now gone into hand puppets.
A hand puppet. Oh my God. They were really stretching in the writer's room for this one, I think.
I actually like this and think it's hilarious. The hand being in a puppet. That's really funny. And I mean, I guess if you're just going to go for it, just go for it. But like, it doesn't make, like, the puppet's facial expressions change.
Yeah.
How are you going to explain that to me?
It gets stupid.
It's fine. It is stupid, and it's stoner stupid, and that's, I don't know.
Nothing wrong with it.
It was maybe a bridge too far for me yesterday, but okay, whatever.
Well,
it's funny. I'll laugh at it.
Honestly, if this kind of ridiculous stoner comedy was happening throughout the movie, I think it would flow better. But it's just bits and pockets of it here and there.
This is also when this hand puppet has Molly tied up to a car, which is on the roof of a car on a lift, and it's lifting it up to like this glowing pentagram on the ceiling. And this is the point where, like, I guess Anton's trying to get her down, but all he does is just rip her clothes off.
Yeah.
Not only does it happen, which is ridiculous enough, but that's fine. But they call attention to it. Poor Jessica Alba has to act looking down at herself like, oh no, my clothes got torn off. I'm naked and sexy. Like, it's so silly.
I want to know how the hand managed all this. I mean, it really tied her down there and drew that pentagram on the ceiling.
I know. It's very capable, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. Anton is fighting the hand because the hand has a grip on this lever that's pulling her up. It's that classic, really?
Right.
Okay. Yeah, you're just power play against.
And she's
puppet.
she's just the writhing, screaming, sexy girl. Like,
yeah,
it's very cliche, and I'm sure that's exactly what they were going for. Like,
for sure.
I get it. It just didn't. It didn't land with me yesterday. Maybe it did when I was 17. I don't know. I don't remember. But the way that they get the hand to stop lifting the thing is to give it a bong hit.
Yeah. Suddenly, Anton gets the great idea.
One of the dead guys has like an exhaust, like an entire car exhaust, like it's as big as his torso, but he's turned it into a bong, and
he calls it Mighty Joe Bong.
I saw some crazy bongs in college, but never that big. Yeah, and I don't know. The hand gets high and the lift stops, and then Debbie shows up again. I guess she's not dead. I thought she was dead, but apparently she's not.
Nope, she ran in with her ceremonial dagger and chucks it in the air just as the hand is flying through the air.
Something she has, I think, a ceremonial dagger that I don't recall ever having seen before this.
She was trying to stab what's his name with it earlier.
Okay.
Anton.
All right. So she's got this fancy dagger, and she just throws it at the hand, and it goes through the hand, and the hand just disappears. I swear to God, in my notes I have, that's it.
Then Seth Green's character literally says that.
That's it? That's it? No explosions, no hellfire, no... I mean, no, I'm glad everybody's all right, but yeah, that was weak.
So at least
and then sexy Vivica A. Fox, like, grabs Seth Green and says, "Time for the ritualistic sex," and just walks out.
Oh God!
Oh man, time for the ritualistic. I'll wait until the day I die for somebody to grab me by the collar and say, "Time for the ritualistic sex." No, I mean, if it's time, it's time.
I know, right? Horror movies, though, ritualistic sex doesn't always turn out so well.
Well, I mean, if you're gonna go,
be willing to give it a shot. Fair enough.
If you gotta go. Anyway, I don't know. Okay, so then Molly makes out with Anton, and somebody says, because I have it in quotes, "As usual, marijuana saves an otherwise disastrous day." It's fine.
And then somehow Anton is crushed by the car, right? Like somebody knocks a lever or something, and they realize Anton is underneath it. And by this, they're like, "Oh, shoot, Anton!" And we don't really get to see what's happened to him because the other two are too distracted by the garage door that's opening to reveal that white light that earlier they said they chose not to walk into because it was too much effort. And this time they decide to walk into it. And the final scene is Anton is alive and in bed, and Molly is
whole body cast.
Yeah. And Molly's hovering over in him, and she says, "I can't even believe it. You blew off heaven to kick it with me." And he's like, "Yeah." Then the two appear as angels.
The guys, the two dead guys, his friends, Then
they walk away, and
they turn off the light. And there's the glowing message, "I'm under the bed," and then that's it, right? Like, I feel like that's where it ends. I was really looking forward to watching this, and then there were bad circumstances, and I kind of had to watch it late last night and finished it just before we started talking. I was really looking forward to it. I remembered liking it, and there were so many things. I love Seth Green. I really like Devon Sawa. I think that the concept is funny, but whether it be circumstance or whatever, it just didn't work for me this time. I just wasn't into it.
Too dumb for Craig. That's a pretty dumb movie.
That's a low bar.
Yeah. Usually I'm the one who's like, "Oh, this movie's too stupid for me," and you're like, "What? Come on, chill out, relax. I love dumb comedies." But
I do, and I didn't hate it either. Like, I wasn't mad at it. I wasn't I didn't feel like I was wasting my time. And if you haven't seen it, I know, Todd, that you said when we started that you hadn't seen it and you didn't particularly enjoy it. But if you're, a Gen Xer who's a horror fan, watch it. It's fine. And you should know about it, and you should be able to talk about it. but
For educational purposes.
For educational purposes. I mean, we're Gen X. We have a responsibility. We're like we're the last tough, responsible generation.
Yeah, exactly.
So you owe it to the children.
I mean, I have to say, I didn't hate it either. I didn't think it was terrible. I just lost patience with it. And I think I already said it. I think it was just a bunch of dumb, kind of obvious stoner jokes, which were funny, mixed in with a few surprises, which were nice, but all just kind of peppered with random scenes of hand gags. And there wasn't a real flow through. I didn't really understand what the end game was going to be, where the story was headed. Where did this come from? Is it going to continue to be a threat? Who is this woman chasing it? Right. None of that is ever bothered to be explained. And you wouldn't think it would need it, but I don't know. Without it, I think just the culmination of all these things, it just felt like a big mass of scenes that I really wasn't terribly invested in. And I was kind of ready for it to be over. So
it could have been an SNL skit. You know, it could have been a 3-minute funny thing. It could have been a recurring SNL skit. That could have been funny, but all stitched together, it's kind of a long hour and a half.
Yeah.
Put it on in the background.
Yeah.
Like when you're vacuuming, it's better than nothing.
Watch it. Watch it, don't listen.
That's my glowing review. It's better than nothing.
Well, speaking of better than nothing, thanks for listening to another episode of our podcast. If you enjoyed it, please share it with a friend. Let them know where we are. Write a review for us up on Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen to your podcasts. Those really help other people find us. If you're really enthusiastic, you can find our Patreon at patreon.com/Chainsaw Podcast. For just $5 a month, you get access to our uncut phone calls that lead to these. We have lots of little goodies up there, mini-sodes, you name it. A great little community in the background. We've got a good book club going there quite a long time now. We've been reading Grady Hendrix, Stephen King, and Christopher Pike. We dip in and out of young adult fiction and get into the more serious stuff. If that all appeals to you, just go there, patreon.com/Chainsaw Podcast, and you can support us there as well. However you support us, we really appreciate it. Our home online is chainsawhorror.com. Leave us a message there or on our Facebook or Instagram pages. Thank you for listening, and we've got more Halloween movies coming your way this month. Happy spooky month. Until next time, I'm Todd.
And I'm Greg.
With Two Guys and a Chainsaw.